right, we're getting ready to stick her in there. There she went, bud.
I got scared.
Hey, we're back on the epic shop truck build, but the shop truck is missing. Did somebody make it sell it?
Sold.
It's sold, she says.
I had two people offer me $100 and I'm like, she gone.
Should we tell the people about the people stopping about buying the shorty truck out front?
Yeah, that's not very nice.
We got to close the doors down. Yeah, people's been trying to buy the shorty truck.
I bring some of the OBS graveyard to the front.
No, it'll start looking like a junkyard. All right.
Instead of just a backyard junkyard.
You guys have not seen, we've been building an epic powerstroke engine for the shop truck that's not here at Bridget Says She Sold. We might have a little surprise for you over next door.
Let's put it in the Excalibur.
All right, so if you've been following around in the last video, know we're building a shop truck. We got the bed sitting there for it. We didn't sell this shop truck, did we? Although Bridget was trying to make us sell a shop truck. Shop truck moved over next door. If you guys remember last time, actually Hunter and I and Tucker, we swapped the dash around on it. There's a whole playlist down below called the 7.3 shop truck build, I believe. Click on it, it's gonna take you all the videos on this. So what we got going on here?
Parts. We got parts.
We got some new shiny paint. We got transmission mounts, engine mounts, blasted them, epoxy primered them. Fixed our fan shroud there. If you guys remember, when we pulled it out of the parts truck, it was actually broken. We repaired it. We did use some undercoating under the truck. Kevin shot flat black on the frame, is that right? Epoxy primers and flat black. Actually used some undercoating. Undercoated the hole underneath of the truck. Rust proof it. We used some stuff called SCM. Seemed like pretty good stuff. Anyway, Kevin's got this all looking pretty. I got underneath there all undercoated. You guys probably can't see it, but you'll see later on when it's up on the lift. So everything's looking good. We're gonna get our lifts out. We had our portable lifts in here lifting this thing up so we get underneath of it and do a nice job painting it. So we're gonna get these things up, get all these parts out of here. Meanwhile, I got a little time lapse when me and Kevin was painting this. Randy did a lot of sanding and prep work on this thing, so the paint would take. So I'll throw that little clip in there. You guys can watch that while we're cleaning up.
Sure. Don't be scratching my paint, bub. Just call this scratcher vision.
That guy's dog's barking right now.
Maybe. No, you scratched it. All right, we're gonna have to take a break for this one. pretty clean.
Alright, Randy just got done washing the old transmission off. I actually got a new little pressure washer. I'll show you guys that in a second. This transmission, I didn't get it before, but it kind of looked like this transfer case here. It was all covered in dirt and grease. You guys may have seen it in a previous video, but Giraffe Tools actually reached out to us and sent us a couple pressure washers with the model P106. We've actually been using this thing here a little bit in the shop. I like to try things out before I actually say they're any good, but we've been pretty impressed with this thing for what it is. I mean, it's just an electric pressure washer, but it does really well. I think it's rated at 2200 psi. But the nice thing about these, you got a nice hose reel on them. Just pull this up. It's got an automatic winder on there. Thing is super strong, isn't it, Randy?
Yeah. It's pretty quick.
So they send plenty of nozzles there. I actually have a soap canister. We've used that on a few things, so you guys can see it's super easy. One hand pull out and stops, locks in place, automatically winds up. So we've been super happy with it before. I've had it here for a few weeks actually, so we've been using it around the shop. It's good for little projects and stuff like that. Kids washing dirt bikes and cars off, and we get something small like that, we'll just pull it out here and wash it off real quick. But yeah, go check them out, Giraffe Tools. I'll put a link to their Amazon store and website in the description down below. So pretty happy with the overall quality of that thing so far. So all right, Randy's been washing parts off with the pressure washer. How you doing, Randy? Getting her clean?
Yeah, working on it.
Got the transfer case, got the back of the engine adapter. He's working on it with the new Giraffe pressure washer we got. All right, we got the truck moved in here. A couple things we're going to do before we get that engine there. We're going to insulate this firewall. The factory ones had, the diesel factory ones had some insulation there, and over the AC box we've got some DEI heat insulation. Kevin's going to work on that. I'm going to change out this AC accumulator here while we can get to stuff kind of easy. Then we got to get the powerstroke motor mount brackets bolted in here. You the insulation man?
I am.
Well, Kevin's going to work on that. I'm going to work on that. We're trying to let this paint dry a little bit. We did just paint this morning, so not sure if we'll get that motor slammed in there today or not. Kevin's got to take off a little bit early because he's part-time now.
Due to budget cuts.
You guys remember, we're still waiting on 2 plugs. We did get those. We've got to get those in there, engine off the stand, and then we got to put our double disc clutch and stuff in there from South Bend Clutch, a new flywheel and all that good stuff. So we got to get that all prepped. But hopefully when we get all that done, we'll be ready to slide it in there. He's putting some wax and grease remover on there to oh, you got my undercoating, didn't you?
Undercoating.
He's getting that all clean to prep it up for this heat insulation, which is laying over here. This is the original stuff off that rusty plow truck. You guys remember that? So we're going to use some of this self-adhesive DEI stuff on there. Hopefully that holds up, keeps a little heat out of the engine, or keeps it out of the passenger compartment, I guess I should say. We don't have hot feet, do we?
No.
All right, we're going to get all that fixed and prepped and ready, and we'll be back. All right, we're back. It's actually the next day. Kevin got the firewall insulation on, looking beautiful. We got the powerstroke engine adapter mount. You guys can see we've sandblasted them. See how rusty that truck was. It got some pits in them, but they've been epoxy primered and stuff. It should be fine. Got a new AC receiver jar on there. We're getting close to dropping the engine in, bud, or motor, whatever you want to call it. So what we're doing, we're getting this thing kind of prepped. You see Kevin's actually dumping a little oil in this big funnel. You're gonna spill it too.
Oh yeah.
So you guys remember from the engine build, this is actually the high pressure oil pump oil housing. It actually stores about 3/4 quart of oil. So we're going to pre-fill this up. We're actually going to pre-fill these engine rails up here too. I got the plug popped out here. We'll kind of tilt the motor on its side, fill those up. Believe it or not, this motor, even though if you drain the oil out of it, they hold like 16 quarts, but you only get about 14 quarts out of them, if I remember right. They'll hold almost 2 quarts in the top end of these things, between these oil galleys and that high pressure oil pump, oil pan, or whatever they call it. So if we do this, it's going to save on a lot of cranking when we go to start this oil, because it takes like 400 or 500 pounds of oil pressure to actually crack those injectors. So this high pressure oil pump would have to actually pump all this oil into all this stuff. The low pressure pump first would pump oil up into this. After it gets full, the high pressure pump would pick it up, fill up these oil galleys and all that stuff. So it's a lot of cranking that we don't need to do. So we're going to help the situation out a little bit by doing this here. So that thing there, Kevin, I know once it gets so full, it just starts dumping in the pan too. So once you get about 3/4 quart in there, you're probably good. So we're gonna get that all topped off, those oil galleys. We'll probably hook the forklift up to it. We got to get the bell housing adapter on there and the big double disc clutch. We'll show you guys that here in a second. All right, got her hooked up to her super sweet engine lifting crane, or motor lifting crane. You guys remember, oh, you just dropped my...
We're gonna put those back.
You know what these are out of?
What?
These are out of Dirt Perfect's John Deere 6090 engine. It's 850J. These are Dirt Perfect's wrist pins. At least that's what we're going to say. I think they're out of that motor. That was about the last one we rebuilt, wasn't it? Yeah. We're actually modified 2 of them here to clearance these pipes there, but they made good spacers.
Yeah. Dang good spacers.
All right. We're about ready to slam the old clutch and stuff on the back of it. We'll go find those parts here.
You gotta make your own.
May I ask what you're doing over here?
You gotta make these clutches.
Oh, they just give you cardboard in a box, huh?
No, this is performance clutch material.
Pretty sure I paid quite a bit for that cardboard box.
Oh, this
Is it perfectly balanced?
Yeah. There you go.
I'll see if it bolts up, bud.
Oh, we got the oversight.
You gotta hold it like that, huh?
You gotta hold it in the right spot.
It's egg shaped. Don't start it or nothing. All right, so what we got here is a South Bend double disc clutch. We're putting in the ZF 5-speed in it. This clutch, I think, is rated for 650 horsepower and like 1,100 foot-pounds, somewhere in that neighborhood. And we're thinking we're getting serious. If you don't know, South Bend clutch is actually made in South Bend, Indiana. Wouldn't that make sense?
Yeah.
So we're trying to keep it local here. Are you actually going to read these?
It says right on top.
Oh, okay. Even got more stickers. We got some of these on the toolbox already. What's the matter?
It's all put together. I tried to just pull the head.
Oh, how'd that go for you?
Pressure plate doesn't just come up.
All right, we're going to get to... We should have a new flywheel in here, I'm hoping. Probably got new flywheel bolts. We'll have to see what those torque to. And got the most important tool of all.
That's right.
The liner upper tool.
$3 lineup.
We'll show you how, if you're not certain how a double disc clutch works. So a single disc would not hold all this power, so they'll use actually what they call double disc. They'll have one disc, then an intermediate plate, and then another one. So they make for some fun driving too. Nice and smooth, letting out in the clutch.
Left leg strong.
Left leg will be strong for sure. They bolt it all together, huh?
Yeah, but
I don't think we can put it together like that. These things are not light.
Tight.
So you can see there's one disc there. Should be another one hanging out somewhere in there. We'll have to find it for you and show it to you. So you even got the red paint. We'll just line her all back up. All right, we got to get that dude unbolted so we can bolt the flywheel up, and we'll be golden. All right, Kevin got the flywheel torqued on to what? 100? Don't spit your tea out. 100 foot-pounds. We're ready for some disc, ain't we? We need a line-up tool, disc. So we took our thing apart. They've got a red mark here. They actually have, I think these are all balanced, so we're going to put it back together the same way it come apart. So I think we got to have our pieces first.
Put that on there.
Got to slam her all up in there one thing.
One big thing.
That's our pilot bearing there. This is imitating our input shaft on our transmission. So Kevin's gonna get his super chair holder over there, aren't you?
The Pack Saver 5000.
We'll get these things stuck in here. Show these people. So this is one of the clutch discs. We got ceramic on one side, and I think it's an organic material on the other, so it's not quite as grabby. I think they make one double ceramic, so that is if you get real serious. Flywheel side. Lost my tool. You got more parts? Goes down here. Okay. Don't matter which way these go, is it? Okay. Paint down. Yeah, I'll get some bolts. Red paint down there. Yep, I think we're good. Oh yeah, sliding. You always want to make sure your lineup tool is sliding real easy. Nothing's bound up. You notice I kind of held it up a little bit when he snugged that down. So he's putting pressure on those clutch discs right now. And then we got torque goes down to 40 to 45 foot-pounds. And then, you know what? We'll be ready to stab this motor in here.
Water.
You think you can tighten those, or I gotta hold this? You got a lot of leverage here, don't you?
Yeah. They wussed out on this one.
You stopped before you got there, bud. Oh, you got it. All right, he's gonna finish torquing those. I'm gonna pull the oil filter off here. I remember when we pulled the engine out, that oil filter was in our way. We actually poked a hole in it, so hopefully we're ready for everything down here. It's looking pretty anyway. It's gonna be a tight fit with that turbo. Hopefully the engine will fit in there. We don't really want to be taking that big turbo from Irate Diesel service back off there, do we?
No, we'll cut a hole.
We'll cut a hole before we do that. We'll get her in there. We'll figure it out. All right, we're getting ready to stick her in there. Hopefully. We'll find out. Ready? Bit, Kevin. Alright. Down a little bit more. Come on down. Hold on. Whoa. Pull up or pull in a little bit forward. Whoa. And down a little. on there, Kevin. Let me loosen the line up a little bit. All right, we're close. Our turbo's hitting the back of the firewall. We just got to take the motor and kick it up a little bit. Kevin's going to try to pry it over here. What you need there, bub? There she went, bud. I got scared. That side's in. We just got to get your side back. She's a tight fit up here, bud.
That's okay. We still got another inch we're going down, right?
Yeah, Kevin's got to go back and down, and hopefully she fits in there. It's the back chain. Hold on. I think we can get that in there.
Oh, yeah.
All right, the engine is in its home for sure. We got to get the train in there. You think that downpipe's going to fit in there, bud?
Oh, yeah. It's going in.
I mean, that turbo is a finger's width off the firewall right now. But we've got to get the tranny in there. It's kind of dictating stuff. She's tight for sure, bud.
We should put that turbo over here.
Turbo over here in the fender. A couple of them.
Ran that sucker out the headlight.
Mm-hmm. We've still got to get a downpipe down through there somehow. That's awful tight.
See, if that turbo was right there, we could have ran it right out the fender.
Are we certain this cab's not different?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. Somebody probably knows this.
Yeah.
I mean, it might fit, but goodness, it's tight. For sure.
We're gonna make it fit.
We're gonna make
this
it.
episode and make it fit.
We may be pulling the engine back out, bud.
Oh,
That wouldn't be fun, would it?
why would you say stuff like that? We're making progress.
Maybe we just need to raise the body up higher.
Yeah. Body lift.
Body lift, that fixes everything.
We got plenty of 2x.
All right, we're gonna take a look at the situation and then probably raise the truck up and transmission time, huh? We gotta get that mount on there. We'll have to drill new holes for that because we had an automatic in here and it's probably different, I'm pretty sure. So we'll get all that stuff lined up here and we'll be back. Better hurry, I got the remote, bud. I'm ready to go up. Somebody said these lifts were slow in the comments.
They were what?
Said these lifts are slow.
Oh.
Like they pick up.
Already a Ford.
That's power steering. This flat tire keeps bothering me. It's all leaned to the side. It's gonna mess this all up, huh?
They're slow, eh?
I think they're just fine, but it's all dark under here. You know, that motor's sitting cockeyed too, which don't help anything. You probably can't see what we're talking about. It's all dark. Look at that nice undercoating job. You know, I have another worrisome problem here with this transmission tunnel, being it was automatic and...
You'll be alright.
Okay. Kevin says it's alright.
Don't let those little things get you.
We'll get the tranny up under here and see what's going on. Alright, we got our super sweet transmission lift stand engaged. Do you know how to roll it?
Napa bearings are giving out on it, but
Napa don't know how. So we're probably going to put this dude up in here and cross our fingers that it fits. I'm not sure if it's going to. I don't think it will. I'm worried about this situation here. Usually they have a plate here you can unbolt, but this one's all one piece. Must be a Canadian thing or something. We're gonna get that up there. If it does fit, then we gotta mark where the shifter hole goes, probably drop this thing back out again. Oh, bud, look at this bar that's in our way here. You know what I'll do with that, don't you? I will cut that the heck out of there.
You can't.
Oh, that was my foot.
These things are a classic.
Should I just go ahead and cut it and get it out of our way?
Yeah.
There's no way.
I mean, it's pretty rigid without it too.
Yeah, I mean, we could weld it back in.
Or we could give them back to Menards, where they stole them from.
I don't think Menards sells anything this heavy duty.
Yeah, they do. It's in the outdoor lumber department when you go up those steps outside.
Looks like a good job for a Sawzall. What do you think?
Yeah.
I got my side, bud.
You get it good and close there. We can re-weld it back on here a little bit.
You think we need a longer blade?
That way it goes so high that you wobble.
Careful you don't cut the... I mean, you didn't cheap out on the tube either.
No, I think you
You about cut the leaf spring in too, bud.
Problem number one.
What'd you find?
Go mark your hole.
Mm-hmm. How much more tilt does it need?
I'll go. Hang on a second. I'm gonna stick my finger in the hole
Why would you do that?
because I want to see how much higher we gotta go.
Oh, I can see the bolts here, bud.
Okay.
Do we need to take the shifter tower off?
You're gonna have to because you gotta go 2 more inches.
Yeah. Okay.
I cut a huge hole.
No, we don't need to do
Let's
that.
chop a big hole, bub.
Alright, we took the transmission shift tower off because Kevin was whining. We couldn't go up no more.
Oh, it's talking about.
It's all your fault.
We're not getting close. My leg's just growing tired.
Now you like that
I've lost
foot
one
jack.
by no pneumatic.
We ready to start going in, maybe? We need to go up a little more. Let me put the tilt to it here.
We're gonna have to get a little closer because our. There we go. Oh yeah, we got room. Easy does it now. I got my dowel right here on my side.
We're gonna go in, I guess. About gonna have to, ain't we?
I can go up if you want.
You know what we need to do is probably find the bolts. Do you know where those are all at?
No.
Alright, we got the tranny slid in there, got a couple bolts in it. You guys can see we actually put a block of wood up there and kind of smashed the square hump up there in the floorboard. And we actually took a socket and put it on the board. The end of the floorboard where we think it needs to be, it's actually off to the center a little bit. So our scientific plan is to perfect lower this dude on the ground, see if we can find that hump in the cab. And we made a super sweet template here somewhere too. What did I do with that?
Try over here.
Okay. Grab our light. So that's the size of the hole we need in the floorboard. Just that easy. And this is our shifter boot. That fits inside our shifter boot. I can't see there, bud. Yeah, that worked. Alright, where's the remote controller at for the lifts at? Yeah, that's alright. So we got the transmission sitting on the mount there. Come downtown here and see what's going on with it. What'd you find in there?
Nothing yet.
Is it, how many centimeters is it? Look at all these wires here I got hanging out. I'll just put those back in here like nothing happened. You guys want to see a dash swap? Go back and watch the last video. It was a good time. We put these anti-theft pedals in here. Did you find it yet? Is it a boy or girl? It better be a boy.
Oh, I don't feel anything.
Maybe your sausages aren't long enough.
Something like that.
All right, we're gonna find that hole and we'll get the vinyl trimmed out, and then hopefully cut a hole in there, and there's point of no return. We could just put a floor mat over it, I guess, huh?
CNC mud flat.
That's right. All right, we got a little hole cut, or a big hole cut out. We got our template marked out there. Kevin's gonna attempt to use the air saw here. It's either gonna go or it ain't.
My first time using an air saw.
Is it? That's scary. You want to do it from this side? We're hoping that's gonna work. There's a point of no return.
I feel like going over there.
Over here would be easier.
With a good feeling.
Well, how'd you do?
Just wonderful.
Does it fit?
Yeah, sure.
I think we'll be lucky if the transmission fits. Doesn't hit this here tunnel.
It'll fit.
I'm worried. Slightly worried.
No.
You're not worried.
Ain't my truck.
All right.
It'll fit.
I guess
We got plenty of these air saw blades. It'll fit.
well, I guess we'll blow it up and lift her up and try to put that shifter in there. Should we drill the holes for the boot, or are we that confident or not?
Well, I'm 100% confident.
Okay, that's true. We'll go ahead and drill those before we get all that crap in the way. You sound real confident. All right. All right, getting the top of the tranny bolted in there. Hopefully it all fits and goes up in there. We don't know. Kevin's gonna tighten her up there. We'll lose some parts on top of the transmission.
Okay.
We get that on there, then we'll raise the truck up. How you doing down here?
Just peachy.
We got our cross member in. This actually come out of the manual transmission truck, and believe it or not, there's holes in the frame from the factory and it bolted right in. I don't know how that happened. We must be doing something right. The only thing I'm worried about is clearance when we put this transfer case into the front drive shaft. Usually these trucks, this one sits up so high they'll hit right here, so we may have to cut and clearance that. We'll worry about that later.
We don't worry about old clearance.
Transmission's tucked up in there. We got about 1 inch clearance over it. I think the next thing we may tackle, because I'm kind of worried about it, is that downpipe. That don't look like much room on the camera, but we may try to get that hooked up the turbo. We still got our main transmission mounts loose here. We got plenty of room to slide forward, which we may try to do that. Our engine mounts are still loose too. Engine or motor mounts, what are they called? You know? I don't know.
Me neither.
Well, yeah, it's kind of actually fitting. I'm kind of
Like a glove.
scared.
That's what optimism does for you, buddy.
That's right. Well, we should probably mess with that downpipe next, right? I just told these people that.
You just want to be discouraged, don't you?
Yeah, that's the only other possible failure point in this operation. Well, it fit in there. I don't know how. Kevin's marking it a little bit because it is barely touching the firewall. We'll probably massage the pipe a little bit so we don't want it sitting there rubbing. We got to bend this lifting eye. I actually made this one, it was missing one, so we're going to bend that down a little more. Massage the pipe. Just got to do a magic trick to get it out.
Yeah.
Did you mark it? No.
Sure doesn't look like it.
He's going to take that over and kind of magically give it a little bit of warp. We actually did, there's a lip on the bottom of the firewall. We actually did bend it up and clearance the firewall a little bit, so by the time he's got all the insulation stuff on there, we lost a little bit of room. So I'm going to bend that down a little more. He's going to work his magic on that pipe over there. Then I think we can go down and stick the transfer case on next. So that was our only other big worry about fitting here. So far so good. All right, we're back under the truck. If you guys can see, we have the downpipe in and we've got clearance around it. Not much, but we do have clearance. So I don't have the clamp on that joint there. Wait till we get the exhaust system on, but it is it is in there, and we got some clearance in the firewall. It's tight for sure, but it's in there. I'm liking it. So next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get that transfer case mocked up in here. Gotta clean some of this gasket off the old transmission here. We'll get it in here and see about our drive shaft links. This transmission is shorter than the automatic come out, so I know our drive shaft's going to be different. The front one will be different too. I may have one that fits it. So how you feel about this down here?
Yeah, I can't see nothing.
Hey, I'm actually kind of impressed. So I had to do a little hammer work to the heat shield there, but we got quite a bit of room up here in the firewall, really.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's tight, but we can move that a little bit yet, so I don't have the clamp on or anything. I'm happy.
Yep.
All right, we'll get the T-case. All right, Mr. Randy did a fine job cleaning this thing up.
Like new condition, bub.
So if you guys don't know, these Super Duties, this is a F Superduty. I actually put the parking brake on the back of the transmission originally because this used to be a two-wheel drive truck. So the company that converted this, Quigley, which I think their name's on this piece here, it's right under there. They made this adapter. It went on the back of the transfer case that will still use the factory park brake housing. So another little fun tip, this little park brake housing actually holds just a wee little bit of oil. It's its own separate thing, so something important to check on these for sure.
I heard they made these out of Manchester, Pennsylvania.
What makes you think that, bud?
I don't know, but I just wanted to give you a fact.
All right, we got a new gasket dangling up there.
I knew it either said Winchester or Manchester.
Manchester. All right, you ready to get this up there?
Let's do it. It's probably the C892 model.
Oh, I guess, yeah. Do we need to put a little grease on that input? Is this turning that? Oh, yeah. There's a grease pin over on the table.
Gotta get it up higher first.
Oh, this looks scary. I'm just ready to start it. We don't need any of this stuff.
This do?
That's a vent.
Vents are for quitters.
Vents are for quitters. Nobody needs a vent. I hope I need to go that way.
You do.
Watch.
Should we kick it in? Alright, hope. Oh, nearly. This is gonna bolt right up to the same spot.
Alright, we got one more piece here. It is not going to bolt up in the same spot.
This is.
This is actually... Oh, there's no way. It's got to be forged.
Boom.
You got
Perfect.
your hot stuff there. You just put your finger right here. There you go.
Teamwork.
I put 7/16 hardware on there if that makes you feel better. Alright, so what we just put on was actually another extra cross member that the conversion company, Quigley, probably did. We got us a 77 El Camino transmission mount. So I had some kind of mount there, and I'm not sure what kind it was, but
if you have an El Camino you want to donate to a good cause,
Kevin likes El Caminos.
bring it on over.
Even though this fits other GM cars, I just said it fits the El Camino and it makes him happy.
That's right.
So, you can see here was the old holes where this was. Since we got the shorter transmission, we're sitting up that way farther. So what's that mean? Drill time with Kevin.
We need an adapter kit right here.
No,
Yep.
I think it's drill time with Kevin. Looks like a good time. They got this notched out for a big old muffler. We don't need no muffler. That's what sissies do. Alright, it's all fitting in here. I'm worried about this drive shaft fitting. We may have to cut and notch this yet, but we'll get some links on some drive shafts and see what we got going on. We got a carrier bearing sitting there. Oh yeah, she's coming together. We'll get the drill out and drill a couple holes there. All right, we got our rear cross member, second cross member in. Kevin's actually trying to get a band clamp slid up around that downpipe. We pretty much got it in place. I got the clutch slave cylinder hooked up there. We're going to tidy up some wires and stuff down here. If you guys remember, this truck had an automatic in it. We're going to, these are the plugs that went into it. We've actually got to find a couple wires in there. One is actually going to be a start wire. It wants to know if the transmission is in park, so we got to tie those together so it thinks it's in park all the time, so it will start. We've got transfer case wire we got to hook up. Also got to find the backup lights too, so we got to hook those up into our pigtail here since we're going for that manual transmission. We want all that stuff working, so we're going to get all that good stuff tidied up under there before we set her down, hopefully, and then we can start tackling all this coolness up here, because all Kevin wants to do is start it. Isn't that right?
That's right.
How's it going up there?
Not good.
Tight quarters for sure. You guys can kind of see some of that.
Struggle bus and I'm the mayor.
Struggle bus is done, left the building. Looking good. Kevin did another fabulous paint job on there. We got undercoating all over us. It's still not dry.
Yeah.
That's off. That was me. Stuff takes forever to dry, but yeah, looking good. I'm gonna get that tidied up. We did get some measurements for the drive shafts. We're gonna take those to drive shaft shop so they can get balanced and everything. This one has to get lengthened. Front one's got to get shortened. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do in the fuel situation yet. I've got a Bronco fuel tank. We yanked out the dual tanks on the last video there or so, but I've got room to stick this rear fuel tank back here, in between here and the back of the bed. There's going to be a lot of fabrication, making mounts and stuff for that, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or I'm just going to do it the quick and easy way, just put a tank here in the back of the bed. Not certain that yet. We may put a 50-gallon narrow tank here. You can't get all the way to the front of the headache rack anyway if you're loading stuff, so that space is kind of wasted. So I'm kind of, at this point, leaning towards that, but I'm not sure. So, but we'll figure that out. We can make the truck run with the fuel jug anyway, because we're going to put electric lift pumps on there. So something else we might tackle while we're down here and get those mounted up here. So we got plenty of room for that for sure. So anyway, we'll get some of the stuff tied up and we'll be back. All right, did a few more things under here. We got the wiring tied up. I think I got the reverse lights hooked up and the park switch. Kevin got a starter on there. What else did you do?
I didn't.
Steering stabilizer. I think we're all done, ready to set her down, ain't we?
You betcha.
That's about a wrap on this. We got to go unload a kitty cat outside. We got a bunch of D7F dozers coming in, so you guys probably gonna see some videos on that stuff. What we got left on this dude?
Fired up.
Fired up, he says. Oh, I also did hang the fuel pumps up under there too, or fuel pump. You guys can see it's probably dark. Set of filters. Trying to get done with everything. So next video you'll see popping out is probably going to be getting all this stuff put back together, and it should be running in the next video, I hope, unless we have major problems. So if you guys want to see that stuff, definitely consider subscribing so you don't miss out. If you like what you've seen today, hit that thumbs up button down below. It helps us out a lot. So, and don't forget about Scott's actually got one on. We've got t-shirts, stickers, hats. Look at him. So if you guys need some merchandise, go check out. There'll be a link below in the description. Go check that out. So
Anybody want to buy my uniform?
that's not for sale.
Oh.
All right, guys. We will catch you next time.
I gotta run.
Been your house payment for a while? Being paid?
I told Clinton I was wanted in 4 or 5 different counties.